Hello everyone and welcome back to our last video of the spring season here at Game Gym. In this one we're going to be taking a look at bounce dribbling, and if you guys have been keeping up with my videos you should remember this as the method we use to set up a hook shot, but I think there's a lot more value that you can get out of bounce dribbling other than just topping it off with the hook shot. So today we're going to be practicing it in free play. We'll take a look at some ways to incorporate the bounce dribble into your arsenal, and then we'll take a look at a replay example at the end of one of our new options that we gained from bounce dribbling. Alright guys, for our final warm-up of the season, which still sounds a little bit weird to say because it feels like the season went by really fast, we will be doing our tried and true free play warm-up. For this one, try to keep your momentum as you hit the ball around the pitch while focusing on hitting the ball as hard as you can and following up your touches as quickly as possible for 5 minutes. Although I've reiterated this a lot, doing this even just for 5 minutes each time before you play is the quickest and most effective way to warm up your brain to just the different ways the ball bounces in Rocket League. The bounce dribble differs from regular dribbling in that with the bounce dribble, like the name suggests, you will be slightly bouncing the ball as you dribble it down the pitch, almost like someone dribbling a basketball. Because the ball is constantly slightly bouncing, it gives us a lot of really good options with the ball. For instance, we could fire off a quick power shot, start an air dribble, and from there we would have all the options that come from being in the air. We could fake, just to name a few. As for what game modes you would want to use this in, I'd say keep it mostly to 2v2 and 1v1, as if you try this in a 3v3 match, the ball will most likely get stolen from you as there is considerably less space on the field in threes, and on top of that there's just much better, faster options to use in those three situations. Okay, now we're going to jump in free play and work on actually practicing the bounce dribble. The first step to starting this is what everything begins with in Rocket League, and that's the first touch. Remember that our objective here is to have the ball do really light bounces, which will make it easier to control. So the way we want to get our first touch is coming from the sides of the ball and lightly tapping it, which will cause it to bounce. Or you could use the front two corners of your car to help pop the ball up. They'll both get kind of the same touch. Practice getting this first touch for 5 minutes or until you can get it consistently. Now, after moving on, our next step is of course to keep control and keep the ball bouncing, right? It's pretty easy to keep control once you get the first touchdown, because after that, all you have to really do is just lightly drive into the ball and tap it, and it will continue to bounce. One super important thing to remember here when controlling the ball is to feather your boost, meaning to constantly tap it in short intervals rather than holding it down, because if you hold it down, you'll lose control really fast. Practice bouncing the ball from one end of the field to the other for an additional 5 minutes. And you guys can look at the footage in the background for kind of a visual aid if you guys need that. Alright guys, now we're going to take a look at a bounce dribble being executed from one of my replays. This is me in a 1v1 against my coach Kairos. We're going to see he just got a demo on me, picks up the boost. Now I want you guys to pay attention to the first touch right here. He's not holding down boost, he's not trying to smack the ball, it's just a very light touch. He just drives into the ball slightly to get it to bounce. And also notice on the follow-up touches, he's barely using any boost. I mean, from those first couple touches, he maybe pressed his boost button once. So that's all it takes. You really want to feather your boost, guys, to keep that advantage. And you can see right here that what Kairos ends up doing is a power shot out of his bounce dribble, which is really good because he already has so much leverage and the ball's already bouncing. It's just really easy and organic and natural to set up this power shot. So that's a good example of one of your guys' best options coming out of the bounce dribble. Alright guys, very quickly, I want to do one more replay example of the bounce dribble, except this time we're going to see it used as a way to make it awkward for the opponent. We're going to see that I play it off of Kairos' backboard right here. So we're going to take a look. You see I cut into the ball from the sides for the first touch like we talked about. And right here, my main goal isn't to score it. It's just to hit it off of the backboard to make it harder for Kairos to hit. I have a lot of trust in Kairos. He's a really good defender. If I do a power shot, top right corner even, I think he's going to save that. So what I do here is I try to make it awkward for him. You can see I kind of mess up the shot afterwards, but the main thing I want you guys to see is how you want to make it awkward for your opponent and make the save as difficult as possible. This isn't on net, like we've said, but it's in such a spot that he has to really jump, and you can see that he has to jump. And it takes him out of the play for a little bit. Didn't capitalize, but it created a really good opportunity. And that's going to be the cap to this season at Game Gym. I want to thank everyone who stuck around and showed up to each video and put in the work. Seeing everyone grow at the game and being able to help all of you become better is why I love coaching. So make sure to leave a comment on this video if you got some benefit out of it. It's really appreciated. It really helps me keep going and make these videos. The team here at Game Gym has already been working really hard behind the scenes on our next upcoming season, and I hope all of you are as excited as we are, and stay tuned.